Hey, hello. Here we are. Here we are with our final part to this wonderful conversation. I'm enjoying the feedback I'm getting and the insight that is being shared. Um, you see me, I'm pre-recording this, but however, I know it's going to be some good stuff being shared. You know what? Write it the way you want to see it. Write it the way someone would say it about you. We talked about that in part 3 about how it is important to how you see your life, how you want your life to feel. And you do it in business, you do it in whatever you put your talents to, you do it in life. How do you want it to feel? Well, even me recording these times with you, I want to feel good about what I'm doing, and I want to feel good about the feedback or the impact and the impact that it gives and brings to people in their lives. So I know we're going to hear some good things about this. So now we're at the point where we've talked about the power of treating your life as a business in some sense. And I keep saying, and I will say it again, it's not about you being so um, authoritative, so rigid. So it's just an idea of how life can be well managed if we take some of the business mindset and bring it into our personal lives, because we do give so much energy to our professions, to our professional goals, to the way we make money, the way we do things. We will work hours, we will go without sleep, we will disrupt family, we will get divorced, we will, get sick, we will do the thing, whatever it takes to have the life that we want, that looks like it is the most rewarding life professionally. And we will give it our all, right? They even say, some people have said, if I stop working, I will die. Have you ever heard that? If I stop working, I will die. I have not heard, if I stop loving my family, I will die. Maybe it's been there. If I stop spending time with those that I love, I will die. If I don't go after my dreams and the things that I want for my personal life, my personal dreams, I will die. So if that is said out there, I have not heard it, but I have heard, if I stop working, I don't know what I would do. I don't know who I am without this title. I don't know what role I would play if I don't have this job. If I'm demoted, it's hard for me to go on. If I don't have this title, like many people I know do in my circle, what am I worth? Now, I have heard that. So what this is more about, bringing those thoughts under the umbrella of finding that harmony in your life, professionally and personally. So I think about, when it comes to the vision, mission, values, and goals that we see in companies, as we see in your own business, that moving them into our personal lives, that we can see some change. And I've experienced that often, if when we find that harmony. You call it work-life balance, possibly. I call it harmony with your profession and your personal life. I've witnessed many, many high position owners uh, do everything they can for their profession, and their family suffers. I've seen that. And so with working with clients, it is a goal to find that harmony. If that's what they come to realize, that's what's missing. Um, your peace of mind personally, what can fuel you professionally. It can take you higher professionally. And all the arguments, possibly, of the disagreements with family friends and not showing up or whatever is happening because of your commitments can change. And do you suffer? I don't believe so. I believe there's some adjustment period, but I don't believe you suffer if that is something you want. If what you want, if doubt is out of the way and you want to start dreaming again and you want the life you dream of, then here you go, right? So I think about an opportunity that was given to me with a client, and I'm going to use the name Jessica. And you don't know if it's a client or a mixture of all my clients. But Jessica is a female entrepreneur, and she is looking to find a way to stop feeling overwhelmed, to lower how busy she is, her time commitment to her job, her time commitment to the research she has to do for her job as she owns a marketing agency. She's not seeing growth in her life, in her personal life, and she doesn't feel fulfilled. So she's struggling with work-life harmony. So with that, she has found that she's often sacrificing her life, her personal life, for the success of her business. And she just doesn't want it anymore. Now, I have to say, it didn't start out of understanding that that's what was needed and that what was missing. But during our time of working together, and she was able to hear herself and see that, hey, that could be it. I'm missing out. I'm sacrificing too much and I'm struggling to maintain it. And is that something you can help me with? So yes, I could help her promote, I can help her expand her business, things like that can happen. But what she found is, and she come to realize at the end, now that her business is changing for the good because she has changed for the good, and not trying to figure out what to do next and how do I do this and where's this money coming from and maybe I should do this to get the money and all the stuff, and missing out and causing stress and having to take something to soothe the anxiety or the fears and worries of all that she's doing, and that's all she has is her business. So we had to get her unstuck, and her business was successful. She's tired. Her relationships are strained. She lost sight of who she was. I got to find me, and which is important. If you feel lost, find yourself. That means you moved away from values, the mission. You don't even know you had it, but you've moved away from the mission, the values, and the purpose of your life when you're feeling lost. And you got so caught up in thinking this was it, this was going to fulfill, and you see now you're just overwhelmed. But her personal life was disorganized and lacked the needed structure that was so necessary for her to excel as she did in her professional life. So there's that moment when you want to get unstuck. Are you ready to get unstuck? Are you ready to make the change based on the information that has been shared thus far, of getting an understanding more of why you need to understand more about your life and what you can do to have a well-managed life to actually propel you to the higher level that you would be proud of? So what I did with Jessica was a life audit. So we looked at her life. We looked at all that was going on. Another thing that I do with a life audit is I will do, what do I do? It's called a mind map. I will do mind mapping as well to let you see everything that's going on in your business. We do mind mapping in that, and you can see how everything connects. But we were doing with her was a life audit. And in that life audit, we wanted to see how she's spending her time, how she's spending her energy, and how she's spending her money. So we were able to do that, and we were able to discover some personal values, what she's been neglecting in her pursuit of a business success. So I'm going to pause there. And I know I've said it again, but think about what you have neglected in your life because you're in pursuit of whatever that of is, that's not your personal life. You're in pursuit of pleasing people. You're in pursuit of never letting people down. That's a pleaser. You're in the pursuit of holding on to anger that's going to hold you back from what you want to do. So you've secluded yourself and decided to work remotely so you don't have to deal with anybody, but now you work remotely and you don't have any separation between your profession and your personal life because your computer is right there in your bedroom or in your living room or wherever, but it's taking up your whole place. Like even the weekends, I will tell you this, on the weekends, I will have my computer in its designated area. But there's times where I need to, I want to, if I don't have clients on the weekend, every so often I'll have clients on a Saturday, but I will put everything away so I don't have to see it, just so I can separate what I see when I walk in or walk around. I don't want to see that because there is more to life than my lovely business. As much as I am happy that it's growing and it's successful. I have to make sure that even if I'm not doing anything, I'm watching TV or just kicking it, I don't need to look at my computer. I don't need to think about business because I'm no good if I go back to work, to my clients, to an organization, and I'm worn out because I've spent 7 days on my business. And I know we hear that, spend all this time on it. And then when you come out, you can enjoy. Now, if you can do that and you really can come out and find that harmony again, I am all for it. But most of the time, we get stuck and we're continually just working on the business. My hours, my days of work that I try my best to hold true to is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. There is some Saturdays. Mondays, creative, getting things together, creativity, doing things, podcasts, things like that, which can still be work, but it's not my clients, not an organization. Fridays is, hey, I can have a long weekend, which goes into the Sunday, Monday too, so I can have a 4-day weekend. So that is something that was always a very non-negotiable for me, that I wanted to work towards having that 3 days on, 4 days off. So with Jessica, we went ahead and we created a vision statement for her life, and which is, like very similar to a business, the vision statement. Remember, we need that. We need to know where we're going, what we want to do, the time we want to do it, how long it's going to take us to do it. But she wanted a personal life, not just to have a rich business, but she wanted a rich personal life. She wanted strong relationships, and she wanted time to rest, time to enjoy, time to eat without being rushed, time to just be with people, time to just be with herself. So her mission became to find a harmony in her life and have it to where her business served her personal goals. Her business served her personal goals. Isn't that cool? To want your business or your profession to serve your personal goals. Many of us, many go to work just to pay the bills. That's not about serving your personal goals, the things that you want to do with your talents, the things you want to do with your time, the things you want to do with your energy. So vision and mission was very clear for her from that time on, as we did a personal vision statement. So write your personal vision statement. Like, what do you want? Okay. Then the goal setting. We took her vision and we turned it into measurable goals. So for instance, she set a goal to leave the office earlier than she had been. are working at home. So leaving and not leaving early, but working from home. So she came up with a time that worked for her. So it was closer to 6. I know I had one client, had to remind them to take a lunch. Why don't take a lunch? Well, if you're in a leadership position, you don't take a lunch. You know, your people don't take a lunch half the time because they're scared that you're not taking a lunch. So I'm going to sit here and work because my boss is not lunching. So it was hard to, for them to see that. That they needed to be that type of leader too, not just the leader that works, but the leader that takes care of themselves. So leaving the office earlier than normal and not going home to work, allowing her evenings to her family and herself. And family can take some toll on you too. So make sure you're getting that stuff in harmony as well. And she also set goal to start a new hobby. And that's something she had been looking to do for many, many years, was to start her art or start a new hobby, but it turned out to be art. So she also went on to resource management. That's something we talked about. So as she did her business, Jessica started managing her personal resources as well, like her time, her energy, her attention. Her time, her energy, and her attention. And that's what I liked about working with Jessica and her finding out that it wasn't just my time, my energy, and money, but it was her attention. Like, what is getting her attention? The same focus that she gives her business, the same attention she gives her business, the same attention she wanted to turn around and use for herself. So she started delegating more tasks at work, right? She stopped trying to solve everyone's problem and take things away from people because they're taking too long to do it, or they seem to have a hiccup, or they kind of just let things kind of ride a long time and you feel like you got to go and rescue them. Whether you don't want it to look bad to your boss because it's someone who reports into you, or you're just thinking, you know what, I don't think it's going to do a good job, or he's going to do a good job. Let me go ahead and step in and do it. And then you overfunction. So she stopped overfunctioning and started delegating. She went ahead and hired assistant to help her out at home with her household stuff, a personal assistant in some areas. We talked about this with the house cleaning, someone to, well, now we can order groceries. So ordering groceries and not necessarily going to the store itself, but having something on rotation. You can tell Alexa to order for you when things run out, and that stuff will be at the door. All right. And also freeing up her time, just what made her happy. So delegating, changing the time, changing her attention, and understanding and utilizing resources that are out there, really utilizing. Another client, she went ahead and got herself someone to come in and cook and meal prep and prepare for the week. There are so many things, and you think, well, I can't afford her. She's a successful business owner. Yes, they are, but you are too. You're a successful human being. And if you don't have, let me say this, you don't always have to find somebody, you Googled. There may be a friend who will cook for you for pennies on the dollar because they just love to cook and they're that kind of person and that's their goal. Imagine. So how do you have not because you ask not. So find the things that you can delegate. Find where you look to find the resources that are going to assist you to be and accomplish what you want to do in your personal life. Just as you would focus that attention in your professional life to get something done. You hire a contractor, or you'll ask for help. You'll ask a teammate to support you. You'll go and talk to a mentor. You do all that for your profession, but we do not think out of the box for our personal life. Well, Jessica was. Okay. I won't get on you. Jessica was. So we also talked about risk management. So what are the setbacks? Jessica had to figure out what could possibly keep her or make her fall back to her old habits. She had to understand, well, this happens, that can happen. What if there was pressures with the business or the business increased? And now, it's sucking up some of her time time and attention that she was doing for her personal life. Well, she had to develop a strategy that helped her manage these risks. So we prepare for the problem. We prepare for the problem. We talked about this in the past episodes. We prepare for the problem. We have to. And then there has to be some accountability. And so she regularly had check-ins with me, whether a brief call or it was during our one-on-one time that we had scheduled. But there's also, hey, 911, I have some, can we schedule something? And there's always that 15 minutes that we can go through something and make something work. But that accountability to risk management to help you not go back to the old habit is very, very important. You got to protect you got to protect, I'm trying to think of something that rhymes with a P. You got to protect what you're moving forward in, what your goal is to achieve. You got to protect that. So then Jessica always also implemented quarterly life reviews. She did it quarterly. I talked about how I do it monthly. But similar to her business, she wanted to kind of do them but at the same time so she can see how they kind of work together or working against each other. So that was her way of evaluating the progress. And she would adjust her goals as she saw fit and necessary. And then she would also, this is it, celebrate her successes, celebrate her wins, even if they're small, even if they're small, even if it was sometimes taking a 10-minute nap in the middle of the day, because that's something she said she wanted to do. So within 6 months with this, Jessica started seeing improvements all the way around. Her business continued to succeed. You would think, oh my gosh, she's over here taking care of these personal things with her family, taking up a hobby. And how does her business survive? Because her mind is clear, because she can now see clearly. She feels good. She's in harmony. It's nothing like being in harmony in life. So she was no longer feeling overwhelmed. She wasn't. Did stuff happen to kind of make her question if she should keep going this way in that 6-month time frame? Yeah, but that's why you have the accountability. That's why she was able to go in and do some check-ins with herself and check-ins with me. So Jessica's happy. She's drawing, she's painting, she's joyful, she's relaxed. I think seeing that you can have these moments where if you look at your life and see it as you would a business and give it that same attention, your personal life, that same attention, that same time, that same drive to have that harmony. I think you learn it's not just about achieving business goals, but it's also about living in alignment with your personal values, with your personal vision. Life is more than just work. But yet, that same fire we give work is the same fire or more we should be given to our personal lives. I think that is something that I will live by and still live by. Having that sweatless victories is what I call them. And you listen to my podcast, you've heard me say them before, sweatless victories. That's what comes when I decide not to go chase something, but to be in the receptive mode, to understand that to be in that receptive mode, I have to mentally be relaxed. I have to physically be relaxed. Do things stress me at times? Yeah, I mean, it comes. I'm not always on top, but yet the goal, remember, it is my goal. There's some non-negotiables. There's a vision I have for my life. There's a mission I have. There's values. So even though stuff comes, it doesn't mean that it's going to make me change my mind about my non-negotiables. It just means I have to have something in my back pocket or a plan and wanting to foresee the problem so that I can handle it when it comes. So what could that look like as me as a business owner? Any business owner, you cannot predict the seasons of how money comes in. Well, I don't limit how money comes in, because money can come not just from me working, not just from me having a client, not just from me working with an organization. Money can come in various ways. So I can write a book. I can have a podcast. I can go speak. I can do a workshop. I can make a product. I can have a product for sale. There's things that I can do that is not just the one thing. And that's where you have that multiple streams of income. I have worked and done various jobs at the same time that didn't interfere, but you know what they did? They aligned with my goal. I had a full-time job that I felt was an investor into my life, my full-time job. Then I had a part-time job where I was doing therapy, which for an organization, which was a part of my goal and where I wanted to go, right? So, and then I had my own business that I was doing coaching and doing more of that life coaching, business coaching. And when I was just discovering where I wanted to go while I was in school full time. So things that I did, was it hard and stressful? Did I ever want to give up? No, but I did fire some jobs. I did move and things that, jobs just, there was nowhere else for me to go. And so I ended up, moving on to the next thing that was on the part of my goal, those milestones, those achievements that I wanted to see marked off. And so things would move off and things would come in that pushed me even further. But it was not just one thing that was happening at one time that I felt I had to control that, all of them. I was able to be in control because I was in control of myself. I spent time with me. I spent time with my family. I spent time girding myself up for what could happen, would possibly happen, but knowing that everything works out for me. Everything works out for me. So if it looked crazy, I still believed everything worked out for me. Even if it was in a relationship, it just gets better and better. If we don't work, it just gets better, and looking at, not that I look for better, it's just that you can't be concerned about what happens if it doesn't work, because there's always something good happening in your life. Always something good. And I don't know who needed to hear that, but always something good is happening in your life. All right. That's it. That's part of completion of the business of living and how you can profit from having a well-managed life. This is Dr. Carla Michelle. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your energy. Please share with someone, share this link, share this podcast, share this YouTube link, and I will see you the next time on the Strong Network. Thank you. Take care of yourself and reach out to me at hello@Dr. Carla Inc. Or you can find me at drcarlainc.com or on LinkedIn, Dr. Carla Michelle. All right. Take care.